Hello, and welcome to this homework help video. Today we're going to be discussing permutations. But let's start with an example. Okay? Noah works at a bakery. He needs to restock the containers of 4 different colors of sprinkles. How many different orders can he restock the containers? Okay, well, so let's just assume the 4 colors are red, blue, green, and how about orange? All right. So how many different ways can we order these things? Well, let's start. Let's start with red. So red starting. We have red, blue, green, orange, R B O G, R O G B, R O B G, R G B O, R G O B. So that's all the possible combinations that start with R. Well, how about ones that start with blue? B R G O. That's a B, sorry. B R O G. Let me just try that one again. All right. Oh, I start with one. B R O G, B O R G, B O G R, B G O R. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see down here at the bottom. B G R. Oh, but I assure you they're all unique. So now let's do one that says green. But as you can already see, we already have 12 possible combinations, and this is taking quite a while. But we'll keep going. So we have G, B, R, O, G, B, O, R, G, R, O, B, G, R, B, O, G, O, R, B, G, O, B, R. And finally, do ones that start with O. O, R, G, B, O, R, B, G, O, R, sorry, O, G, B, R, O, G, R, B. Finally, O, B, G, R, and O, B, R, G. So this took quite a while, but this is every possible combination of the 4 colors that can be put up on the wall. Now, if you add all of these up, you will find that there's actually 24 total possible combinations. Now, these combinations that we have made, what we have made here is a permutation table. It's a table listing every single possible permutation that we have. So what then is a permutation? Well, a permutation is a way in which you can organize or list things, so in this case, colors, where the order matters, in as much as you can't have red be in 2 spots, right? You just have red, and then that's taken up. So this is a permutation table. But as I kind of alluded to earlier, this took quite a while. So there has to be another way to solve how many different orders you can put things in, right? Well, there actually is. With this equation that I'm going to write over here on the side, it's n factorial over n minus r factorial. Now, hopefully you remember what factorials are. There's a video on the channel already discussing what a factorial is, but just quickly here, a factorial, if you have 3 factorial, you can't see that up there, let's write it here, 3 factorial, that means what you're going to do is you're going to take every integer up to the integer here, being 3, and multiply them together. So 3 factorial is equal to 3 times 2 times 1. It's as simple as that. So the question then becomes, what is n? Well, n is the total number of things that you're looking at. In this case, it's the different colors of sprinkles. So n is equal to 4. What is r then? That is how many you're actually going to pick, which is interesting. In this case, r is also 4 because you have 4 colors to choose from, and you need to restock the containers fully. So you're putting all 4 back up onto the shelf. So there's a total number of 4, and you're using all 4 of them. Let me quickly erase this table so we can work this out. Okay. So, yes. Let's do this math out. Yes. So we have, let's put the things in. So we have 4 factorial over 4 minus 4 factorial. This becomes 4 factorial over 0 factorial. Whoa, what is 0 factorial? We know what 4 factorial is, right? That's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, right? But what is 0 factorial? Well, 0 factorial, through some very complicated math, way beyond even my understanding, that equals 1. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But 0 factorial is equal to 1. Well, then we can see that these 1's will cancel. So all we're left with is 4 times 3 times 2. And if you put this in your calculator, or you just solve it in your head or on paper, you will find that this is actually equal to 24. So this process took significantly less time than writing out all of the tables. Let's see if we're right. Is it 24? And it is. Fantastic. So let me quickly erase all this here, and we'll use this formula to solve another question. Okay. Henry, Ron, Gabrielle, Lorenzo, and Travis, who all work at the same large company, have received the Employee of the Month award. As a result, their names will be published in the company newsletter. How many different orders could they be listed in the newsletter? All right, well, let's use the formula again. Let me write it over here just so we have it as a reminder. What is n? Well, n in this case, right, there's 5 names, right? So there's 5. How many are being used? Well, it says here, oh, shoot. Yeah, n is 5. So what is r? As we can see here, it's like all their names will be listed. So 5. So we can do this formula. We can have 5 factorial over 5 minus 5 factorial, which is going to be equal to 5 factorial over 0 factorial, which is going to be equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 1. Cancel the 1's. If you put this in your calculator or you just do it in your head, you'll find out that this is actually 120. Let's see if we are right. And we are. Now, quick question before we finish. What happens, well, let's say only 2 of the 5 people got to be selected. Like have their names selected to be put in the thing. Ignore this, we're not going to look at this question. So let's say that R is 2. Well, how does that change things? If there's 5 possible names to choose from, but we're only choosing 2, what does that leave us with? Well, let's solve the problem again. We have 5 factorial over 5 minus 2 factorial, which is going to be 5 factorial over 3 factorial. Well, now we should probably write these out even more than we had before. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 factorial over 3 times 2 times 1. Well, now we cancel the 3's, cancel the 2's, cancel the 1's, and what are we left with? 5 times 4, that is equal to 20. So, if you don't let everybody's names be drawn, but you can only look at 2 names at a time out of the 5, there's only 20 possible permutations. Okay? Fantastic. So just remember, when you're solving these problems, remember the equation n factorial over n minus r factorial. And there's parentheses around n minus r. Okay? If you just remember that and you take your time, these problems won't be hard for you at all. All right? See you next time. Bye.